while we're in Waterdeep, can we talk to the leader of Vajra? That's the one.
Vajra is the Blackstaff. Laeral Silverhand is the Open Lord.
Not the Open Lord, but Vajra, the one who somewhat likes us.
Yeah, she's easy enough to get in touch with. So you find the Blackstaff Tower. You are escorted through multiple different stairways as you go up and up and up and up and up, past a host of different mages, before you are brought before Vajra. Oh, yeah, come. As the door closes, she brings around a thing of tea on a little tray. You can see as she sets it down, the teapot pours itself some tea. And as you can see, little blocks of sugar and a little creamer thing kind of holds itself in the air and just seems to be ready if you want such tea. And as she's not paying attention to it, she will ask you, I understand it was successful. I hear that one of the Harpers did not return. Apologies. Their body did return, but they did not. That is being tended to now.
I was going to ask about that. When you say tended to,
I believe there is a cleric of Warlock that is affiliated with one of the Harpers, and she is assisting on some of the resurrection things. I have provided material components to facilitate that as a gesture of goodwill to ensure that the Blackstaff and the Harpers have working relationships.
Good. I was going to offer that as well. But yes, it was, in terms of our objectives, extraordinarily successful. We took out several key members, and in fact, more than we anticipated.
Several of the Harpers remarked that there was a huge section of the frontage that is... They use the words blown away, which is incredibly unspecific and vague.
I'm assuming they're going to be able to hear it from the school, but that's going to send people kind of
tell us, Vex.
It's going to send...
You guys feel it before you hear it. There is a dramatic tremble. An excruciating wall of force rushes over you and threatens to knock you to your feet. The windows are actively shaking, and several panes of glass are just... Ching, 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 psh, psh. You can see now a huge cloud just over there, right? You're on a bluff overlooking it, and whatever was there, not really there anymore. But there's just a lot of fire and a huge column of just smoke fire just billowing out. Black and acrid, and occasional extra detonations that just seem to be grenades that just everywhere.
No, that's
about right. I'll look at Vex. Be like, that's about right.
Someone else also mentioned it looked like there was an ocean that poured out of a temple, and it looks like much of the temple itself was. It took substantial damage. Apparently, they teleported out right after that point. But that
good time to teleport out.
Wow.
And they said that the school is still standing, but there is now fireballs and lightning bolts everywhere, and thus it's in much not good shape.
Fireballs from his eyes, lightning bolts from his arse.
Yes. Thanks, Braveheart.
You said fireballs and lightning bolts. No,
I know that
literally.
How did that happen? I have not seen that movie in 20 goddamn years. How the fuck did that work? Oh, wow. It's in there deeper than I thought it would be.
Well, you've made an image.
Yeah.
Well, yes, it was successful. Their operations have been disturbed, if nothing else, and we are now planning the next steps.
Those next steps, I understand there might have been devices capable of large-scale destruction also there.
Yep.
I don't know what they're called, but they make these boxes for these orbs that the Ocean Keeper summons or creates or crafts or something. The important thing is that they have to be in the boxes or else they blow up, and if they blow up, they drown places. Worry not. The Tide Father watches over all. Even now, our Ocean Keeper is charging our efforts. And these instruments of her wrath, these devastation orbs, will soon make their way
Bad name.
throughout the north. Each one capable of washing away a city. And at her command, we will thus strike out and wash away much of the filth that plagues the north. Are those still in play?
Yes.
I tap my vest pocket.
Not that specific one.
What is he doing? That is making me
Yeah.
nervous.
Just subconsciously.
It's fine.
Just funneling my chest.
Vex has a tick.
Oh,
Vex has a tick. Don't worry
it's
about it.
unrelated. Doesn't mean anything.
Nothing.
We were unable to secure those, and I think Slarkrethel specifically knew that's what we were going after next. He could not stop us from taking out his most trusted advisors and the infrastructure, but when we started approaching there, a massive elemental of water, I can't describe how big it was, pushed us back, essentially. Well, sorry, pushed everyone but me back.
It was humiliating.
We were all tired. It was a very long day.
It's DC 24, I think, is what it was. It's certainly high.
Yeah.
She'll look at you. Oh, that is troubling. But if the people in infra are damaged and distraught, they will need time to regroup.
They will.
What is your next step then? Should we consider mounting? Well, to be honest, I was just thinking the way you described it, maybe this is an opportunity to provision a group of unscrupulous Centaurums to just go in and destroy stuff, but I fear that then we'd potentially be opening up, if they are at all successful, they might acquire some of these devices, and then potentially I'd be looking at, an extortion scheme.
The problem with the knowledge of these destructive items is that the temptation to steal one, I will look at Vex, might be too powerful.
These thieves.
They're very useful. But so I don't have an answer right now. And also, knowing Slarkrethel, we've spent some time away from it now. They may be moved.
I was thinking about doing some scrying on the temple. Maybe we'll be able to see something, some kind of any kind of knowledge without having to actually go back.
Yeah.
That's the best I got right now.
Anything that would let us know where those are in play would be helpful.
Yeah. Did you tell Laryl about that yet? About the bombs that could destroy her city? I just feel like she should know.
I did let her know when you told me the first time. I haven't told her that they're still in play yet. I'm gonna
enjoy. Okay, tell her, give her my regards.
If we could do the Tuesday night salute, like we did it.
Tuesday nights, we did what we could.
I'm gonna need more coffee for this. If you do know more about where those devices have come up to or where they're gone, please let me know. Otherwise, we'll just... Do you happen to have a timetable on moving towards wherever he is keeping his fortress?
Well, we do. I'll look around, sort of looking for
it's just
a nod that I can. Yeah, it's Vajra. We have learned some information. It's unsettling information, but it is information nonetheless. We believe he is holed up in a cathedral at the bottom of the ocean. Our next steps, we believe that we could fight him. We've become more powerful since the attack on Waterdeep, and most importantly, we would be on the offensive, not the defensive. Without having to worry about casualties and defending the city, we would be able to be a bit more, for lack of a better word, reckless in our attacks. What we're trying to figure out
you
is...
mentioned that she's like going through her bookshelf trying to look for stuff, as you're mentioning. It's like, well, yes, I reckless might be the way to go. You can just sink that whole...
Have you heard anything about a cathedral at the bottom of the ocean?
No. I have heard about the first church, though. They are an ancient Nintir. Doesn't matter. They're one of the precursor civilizations that had flying fortresses and megalithic cities. I just know that there was an edifice that they referred to as the first church. It was at the time floating in a city. The city was, of course, lost in a great battle, never to be seen or found. People, of course, went looking for it, as you might imagine. Wealth and riches beyond all measure. People are hungry for it. Huh. Pulls out a book. She's looking through it. Yeah, see, the reason I'm concerned is because what they were looking for was they had a means of communion with entities not of our planar existence. They could access or commune or pull resources through from the far realm.
Forgive me, my cosmology is not up to date. What's the implication of that?
It could be just a broken down piece of building and means nothing. It could mean Slarkrethel has a means of communion with an elder god.
Good.
It could potentially mean that there might be a way for something to come over.
Even better.
No, that's much worse. I cannot describe to you how much worse that is.
Yes.
Does the name Dendar mean anything to you?
Yes, I know what Dendar the Night Serpent is. Yes.
Can you tell me about that in particular?
Dendar the Night Serpent is an entity that exists outside the normal realities to which we are familiar with and accustomed to. Something that quite possibly might be older than time as a concept, or older than our reality that we understand it to be.
So something like that.
Yeah, that's that. They are one of the elder gods or far ones or whatever term you want to use for them. They can't directly intercede in our reality because they are so far removed from it. Right? I can plane shift to go to Ysgard and potentially, I can plane shift to a place and talk to an archdevil or a fey lord or something like that. I can even talk to an avatar of certain gods in some locales. These elder gods are. You can't travel far enough to be able to connect or speak to or commune or have their abilities transfer over to you. They are so much further beyond us that their ability to interact with our world. I mean, like if you picture a bubble floating on a dandelion, and then you wanted to just kind of rub a spot off the bubble. The bubble is our world.
Good.
No reason.
Yeah, so ideally, Dendar the Night Serpent would stay the F away.
Yep.
Ideally.
Yeah.
Ideally, yeah. In fact, any of their friends also would be best if they were just never near us.
Yep. No, that's fine. It's probably not related anyway.
Is there a reason you brought it up? It feels like now it's related. Cool. She leaves the book on her desk. puts a bookmark in it, like, maybe you need to just refresh.
Just flip through it, just in
Yeah.
case.
Keep it current.
Not to belabor the point, but we have so far not really known Slarkrethel's goals. Or perhaps they have been ones of general domination, which is fine. This, though, raises the point that perhaps what he's trying to do is something, in your terms, alien to us. Trying to figure it out might not work because we're applying logic that doesn't apply.
Yes, it is. And again, I can't stress enough. Like, maybe this is not the case, and that would be great. But if it's not, then it's entirely possible this very old creature with phenomenal intelligence and resources might potentially have been, I want to use the term, poisoned. Know that he is not in any way being weakened by this influence. But he might be being poisoned by an outside influence. And that's honestly pretty terrifying. I imagine he always assumes he is always in control and always doing what he wants to do. So if his own mind was not his own to the degree he thought it was, let's just say there's a lot of disturbing implications that feather out from there. Let's just hope.
Let's hope he's just an evil.
He's an evil squid. Evil squid.
Right.
Yep. Kill the squid.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Save the world.
Yep.
Well, on happier notes. On happier notes, how is the young charge that we rescued? How is she doing in the Blackstaff Academy?
She's still picking it up. She's got a little bit more of a handle on her first levels. She's really got some perfection down on a magic missile. We tried to get her to try up some things, grease, sleep, etc. But she seems he says it's very effective.
I've seen it. Well, actually, I haven't seen any of us cast it really, but I have had it cast against me, and it is effective.
It's a classic.
Well, if there's anything else she needs for her tuition, or does she? Yeah,
I think you gave like several hundred already. So
yeah, I did.
But that'll cover her for a few years.
That's I figured, but
yeah. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but assuming things continue on, she will probably look for places to either start doing an internship or to start applying her crafts in other ways. Should I send her towards the floaty castle, or I understand one of you is building out in the dock ward as well, something called the D.
That is Vex's another way to enrich the city.
Doesn't it? Deep down.
We may be moving the castle for a time because it is an obvious point of our presence being somewhere. And we've already spent a lot of goodwill on Waterdeep. But you should point her towards us. We can find something for her to do safely.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost believe you on that first part.
Well, we know places. We have relationships with towns that aren't directly on the water, so that
those towns are doing much better. Citadel Adbar, no Kraken attacks.
No Krakens.
Hundreds of miles in. But you guys are here. You can, with your sis, visit the old haunting grounds. As you might imagine, since nobody has done any direct efforts towards rebuilding it, it is still currently burnt down. It does still look like some squatters have shown up. You tell me what you'd like to do with your place, with your stuff, with your things.
Ooh. I wasn't expecting squatters, but I guess that makes sense. Does it look like they
over a year and a half, and they're in a very nice part of town.
Gotcha.
It's like a theme for this city.
Would it be difficult for me to sell my current place and use those funds to fix this place up?
What is your current place?
Johnny Awesome's house that I took over.
Got it. Yeah, you do have the deed. You absolutely can.
Cool. Would it be worth enough to like restore it to its former glory?
Yes, his house is ostentatious AF. That was kind of his thing. So there's a lot of extra guilt.
Gotcha. Is there like a local architect that I could maybe recruit to?
Yeah, there's several of the masonry guilds, to which you've actually interacted with a couple of them before, for the raid. But yes, you may certainly get you just wanted to have them. You just want your old place to be as it was, better.
Well, what does my sister think?
This, since it's you the one that's doing it, I guess you get to decide what you want the new house to be. The old one was very old, a lot of history, a lot of it I don't remember. Some of it was bad. Maybe you don't want to keep as much of that and do something new. Do you have like a bunch of, dragon skeletons and monster teeth you want to hang over like a big lodge, or?
I'm sure we can get you some of those.
But I think I like the idea of maybe reinventing it, but with touches of touches that pay homage to the original, like kind of historical, so like maybe it's like modernized in some ways, but it also like you can kind of tell like people who maybe were around when the original one was there would kind of recognize that it's kind of like a nod to the original sort of thing, but we're just kind of making sure that there's enough space for like all of our friends to like have guest rooms and stuff. And but yeah, definitely want it to kind of feel like a fresh start. I think maybe just for the short term, could I divert some of my like business income from one of my establishments just towards like a salary account for guards, just hired guards. And then that way we'll at least have something basic, and then we'll add magic later. It's fine. It's a good start.
You guys, I will just mark that the awesome house is no longer available to you.
I assume that any like important
worry.
Items and artifacts were like transferred over. It's just the house itself that we've sold.
So remember, the house has been attended to by attendants in your absence.
So they stay with the house along with.
No, I'm just saying that you've been out on a ways for a bit, and you haven't been on the best terms with your boss.
That's true.
And your cohorts are still on good terms with your boss.
The thing is, obviously, when you left, I was a very different person than I am today, and this is gonna sound really bad, but it's fine now. But I kind of sort of like sold my soul to something bad so that I could have warlock powers.
It sounds bad,
but
just a wee bit.
Are you eating that? And like this flying imp kind of makes itself visible and spears a piece of toast off of a plate with his tail and just pulls it over. He's just sitting there on the side of the table, and then pulls over a comically large thing of alcohol.
Yeah, that's why this guy's here. But I'm working on basically undoing that deal. Especially now.
Super complicated.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, but just to emphasize that my heart's in the right place. Yeah. Okay. It's fine. We'll just leave it. Alice is going to be out of sight, out of mind with that one. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
That always works really well.
The succubi are totally cool, guys. They're
Yeah.
cool. They're
Yeah.
cool. They're very cool.
Well, at least we got the journals and letters and stuff out of there because we were doing a lot of researching with them right before we went to the island. So at least those safe.
Yeah, and then you gave the soul coins to
Churrocade.
Okay. Yeah.
Long time ago.
So long ago.
It's been a while. Well, I'm glad you're having a home. It just occurred to me that I don't have a home. I should look into that.
Hasn't been an
Welcome
issue
to
for me
Crash
so
here
far.
whenever you need to.
Right, Brotor? You just kind of... What, Vex, do you have a home?
Oh, I've got a nightclub, so
Sure.
Faye,
I assume
get me thinking that-
Mythuria is... Oh, good.
this did get me thinking that there's a real homelessness problem in this city. Every time we leave it for a few months, we have squatters in our locations.
I was thinking we could invest in some affordable housing.
Well, what if it was like a club, but it's also a homeless shelter?
For
Sure.
homeless.
All
Yeah.
right, we're gonna table that. I agree with your intent, Vex, that we should make more affordable housing after we, not directly, might have caused some of them to become homeless.
Nah.
It's
I mean-
only.
Sure, they forgot about that.
I'm sure they don't remember that.
If you guys are hanging out in Waterdeep, it doesn't take too long for Alex to come find you guys with the Harpers. Or not with the Harpers. She is with the Harpers, but she's speaking for herself.
Yeah,
She
no.
comes to find
I
you.
know, Alex.
That's fair.
I heard. Yeah.
You guys made it out.
Yeah, you did too.
I did.
I thought Amber was literally going to tie you to,
Well,
your-
I was literally just there to teleport in, cast magic missile, and teleport out.
Mm.
It was
Well.
very strict requirements.
Okay. Well, I'm glad.
But I was uninjured, so Amber says it was okay.
Okay.
It's going to be
How
forever.
how is the fallen Harper?
He will be returned to us on the morrow, I hope.
Good. I'm glad all the casualties were fixable.
That'll be how it happens tomorrow.
Okay.
Sorry. Why did this happen?
What do you mean?
Why fight Squid House?
We are
Well,
where are we? Sorry. Those two different things. We are in the middle of Waterdeep right now.
You can be somewhere in Waterdeep. You're maybe overlooking Alice's new place that's being built out, reminiscing over the very lavish and comfortable house that you no longer have no access to. But yeah, you can be somewhere in Waterdeep.
or the castle, maybe.
Also the castle.
Don't think I've moved it yet.
Well, if there's not a lot of prying ears and eyes, then we suspect the Kraken. Well, we know the Kraken is moving his pieces. This was an objectively good thing to do, but also a way to buy us some time. More time to plan a way to stop him entirely. We could not immediately go after him, so we needed to delay some of his plans, at least.
We took out the his lieutenant, really, and then the one underneath her. So, and with the damage done to the academy and the rest of the important buildings there, that should be a pretty substantial setback.
I guess it's all well and good. I guess what I'm trying to find my way over to saying is that you guys are like the only people I know who have like real meaningful power. But I guess I never really knew the goal. I knew it helps some people, but like, I don't know. Have you ever just fought some evil because it was evil and needed to not be there? Like go squish a lich. Put down unruly undead
at one point, but right now I'm thinking about Waterdeep, the siege of Waterdeep, and all the people who live here, and you and Amber and our friends. This is part of making sure that doesn't happen again, at least from that.
No, and I think that's very important. It's very good. Yeah. Just kind of looking up towards probably the castle, or maybe out of the castle, wherever this is happening.
Out of the castle seems cool.
Yeah. But that's fine.
I'm not the fastest. I'm better now than I used to be. Are you wanting to know if we should be doing more or less?
And not more or not less, just good for the sake of good. Not because of something, but because it would be good. You guys are like the only people that have the kind of power to be able to say, this is a bad thing and we're going to stop it, and then do it.
One of the problems I've found with people who do that and wield the power that we do is that everyone can agree. Well, that's not true even, right? We in this room can all agree that killing the Kraken is good. But the Kraken would not agree that. The more we decide to just do something with the power just myself alone wields, I have no doubt I could. This is good because it's a good course that we know and other people have said. We've double-checked. The Kraken's evil. We know the Kraken's evil. I don't want to get to a point where we think we're doing good and we lose ourselves somewhat, trying to make things better. Focused goals work better for me.
No, that's a noble sentiment, and I respect it. I guess more broadly, I was thinking just in terms of like, there are big angry dragons on the map, right? We know about them. People don't go there because they get killed. But it's not like they're hidden. Everybody knows they're there. Nobody likes them. That's all. You know what? I've just had a very long day. I was thinking about. I'm gonna go see Amber now. Bye.
Okay, bye. Tell her.
Bye. Well, Vex, you heard it. There's a need for us to do good, like getting affordable housing in Waterdeep.
Let's do it. Party.
I have an idea, and I think
I'm
I
also
know.
really confused.
I have an idea. Vex, what I'm hearing from
Talking
you
about the
is that
sexier side of shelter.
you want to donate the proceeds from the D to building affordable housing, thus
Sure.
making it.
Yeah. Sure.
That's
great. That's a great plan.
I think my one concern with the idea of us marching around doing good is when this started, I would have said that killing giants would have been a good thing to do. And I no longer think that.
Come full circle.
Well,
Maybe
I don't want us to be these
you're saying-
lords of justice.
the Kraken might be misunderstood.
No. Although the Kraken might be not of his own mind.
I
and
bet
that's
you
terrifying.
he would be able to convince you that he's misunderstood.
Probably, which is why I won't be talking to him.
He wouldn't even need to talk.
That's fair. Right.
Talk into your brain.
I'll hold up the shackles like that's why we made these. She did bring up one good point. Sorry, several good points. I didn't mean to imply she didn't bring up any good points.
That's fine. She's an NPC. I don't care.
That's fine. But she did. The best point she brought up is that we have been fighting someone tricky and invisible. And if we have time, it might be nice to just go kill something dumb and stupid and big. Not a giant.
Well,
But like a dragon.
I
Well, that's
got a
not
deal for you. I'm supposed to go kill big, powerful things. As part of the,
right. The wild hunt.
Yeah.
The thing. The wild
And
hunt
you
did
guys
save
are
our
the-
lives.
Yeah, well, you guys are the wild hunt, so.
We're also all obligated to do it. Yes,
Yep,
there's that too.
yes, you are.
This isn't a request, is it? This is more
You're being voluntold.
other duties is assigned.
So maybe we'll go do that sometime soon.
We do need to pay back the hunt for enabling us to teleport and get out of the last battle. So I think we can afford some time to do that if we want to.
You guys get next. I saw a couple other things on the docket. Two people wanted to talk to Arissa.
I would like to talk to Sarissa.
Tag along.